My name is Alidzulwi and today I'm going to be reading from the book 100 Great African Kings and Queens. The story or queen I'm going to be reading today about is Asante, the Asante warrior queen. If you, the men of Asante, do not go forward, we, the women, will. Asante, queen mother of Ejisu, is much celebrated in the history of Ghana, previously known as the Gold Coast. Ghana became the first sub-Saharan African country to attain independence from colonial rule. In 17th century, the Gold Coast was ruled by Britain, which had colonized the country and the Asante Kingdom. By force of arms, the British and those in those times took over the gold mines of the Asantes and made them pay heavy taxes. The Asantes were very unhappy. They had no income to which they could govern themselves. Those who disagreed with the British were thrown in jail. Their King Prempeh I and the leaders who protested were arrested and shipped to Seychelles Islands. British missionary schools were established. When missionaries started interfering with local affairs, the Asantes seethed with anger. Worse was yet to come. The Asantes had a sacred golden stool that was said to have been commanded from the skies by the high priest Okomfo Anoke. The soul of Asante was said to reside in the stool. Nobody was permitted to sit on it, not even the king of the Asantes. It was only seen by the people during important festivals, when the king and the people gathered to celebrate the renewal of the kingdom. One day, the British governor, Lord Hodgson, demanded that the Asante turn over to him the golden stool, the throne, a symbol of Ashanti independence, so he could sit on it. To the Asantes, this demand was extremely arrogant, provocative, and unthinkable. It was a cause to die for. The story goes that the captain of Armitage was sent out to force people to tell him where the golden stool was hidden and to bring it back. After going village to village with no success, Armitage found a village of only children, who said their parents had gone hunting. In response, Armitage ordered the children to be whipped so that they would reveal where their parents were. When their parents came out of hiding to defend their children, he had them bound and beaten too. The soldier went to the chiefs and ordered them to produce the stool, or otherwise there would be serious consequences. By then, the king of Asantes and some of the chiefs had been detained by the British government. The remaining ones were afraid to go against the might of the British Empire. The governor gave them an ultimatum: bring the golden stool, or else. The disrespectful request for the golden stool and the detention of their leaders led to a secret meeting of the surviving members of the Asante government at Kumasi to discuss how to secure the return of their king. There was disagreement among those present on how to go about solving the British problem. Queen Asantewa, who was present at this meeting, stood up and addressed the members of the councils with these famous words: "Now I see some of you fear to go forward to fight for our king. If it were in the brave days of Oseyu Tutu, Okomfo Anyoke, and Opoku Ware, chiefs would not sit down to see their king taken away without firing a shot. No European would have dared speak to the chiefs of Asante in the way the governor spoke to you this morning. Is it true the bravery of Asante is no more? I cannot believe it. It cannot be. I must say this: if you, the men of Asante, will not go forward, then we will. We, the women, will. I will call upon my fellow women, and we shall fight. We will fight till the last of us falls in the battlefields." This made the men so ashamed that they decided to put on their trousers, pick up their arms, and go to war. On March 28, 1900, Asantewa mobilized the Asante troops for 3 months and laid siege to the British mission at the fort of Kumasi. The British had to bring several thousand troops and artillery to break the siege. Also, in retaliation, the British troop plundered villages and killed much of the populations confiscated their lands, and left the remaining population dependent on the British for survival. Superior weapons made all the difference in the war to subjugate the Asante kingdom and its people, while neither courage, determination, nor fighting skills did. The British also captured Queen Asantewa, whom they sent into exile along with her close companions to Seychelles, while most of the captured chiefs became prisoners of war. Queen Asantewa remained in exile until the death of her 20 years later. After Asantewa, the British eventually succeeded bringing an end to the series of wars with the Asante kingdom that lasted hundreds of years. The kingdom was forced to become a protectorate of the British crown, and the exile of King Prempe and his chiefs were allowed to return on December 27th, 1924, with the remains of Asantewa, who died on the island October 17th, 1921. She was given a burial fit for a heroine. The independence of Asantewa fought for was realized in 1957 when the Asante Kingdom, as part of Ghana, became the first sub-Saharan African country to obtain independence from colonial rule under the leadership of illustrious Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Asantewa has become a very popular figure in the history of Ghana and an inspiration to many. And here is a statue.
Okay, what is the moral of the story? What do you learn from her?
She refused to give up without a fight. And even though the odds were stacked up against her, she continued to fight and fight.
Yes. And also what you learn is that women were not passive. They were fighting, they were involved in fighting against colonialism. And it shows that she is a warrior.
Yep.
Yes, when the men were shaken, she said that we the women will fight. And she did. Thank you for reading the story.